Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing okay today. So I've currently invited Brad, who currently has a health food shop in Warrington, and we're going to be discussing a little bit of information around building a healthy relationship with food, but also consuming health foods as well. I think this would be quite a helpful topic of discussion. Obviously, Brad's just trying to promote his health food shop within a gym in Warrington as well. So it's good to have you on board, mate. Anyway, how you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, doing really well. Yeah, good to be here and speak about it. Yeah.
Brill, spot on, mate. So just tell me a little bit more about yourself, because obviously we had a quick chat over the phone, didn't we, before we jumped on this today. But just tell me a little bit more about yourself, mate, and your health food shop.
So it's something that I'd wanted to do for quite a long time, but never really ended up doing it. I was a wagon driver before, and it was something that I'd always kind of struggled with. Really, was finding somewhere that you could go and you could get healthy food and actually know what you were putting into your body. So I had this idea anyway of doing like a food truck basically, where I was going to pitch up at different gyms and stuff and create a bit of social media buzz and serve kind of like healthy food for people. And it came about that my friend who owns the gym that was situated in now Ascendancy Fitness moved units. There was cafe space available, and I took that space, and it kind of just snowballed from there. And then here we are. Like the Be Balanced Kitchen was born then.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably a good idea that you have it in the gym, isn't it? Because I suppose with it being a health food, shop, it's promoting that any person who's going to come to the gym anyway, they want to hit certain types of goals and stuff. And a lot of the time, as we know anyway, nutrition probably plays a bigger role than exercise alone anyway. So, you're in a perfect position, aren't you, mate, to help people out.
Yeah, in terms of location, I think it's ideal place to be. It is what people that come to the gym tend to want, is something like this where they can know what nutrients they're putting into their body, and they have certain goals they want to hit and stuff. So yeah, it's ideal, really. It really is.
Yeah. So is there anything that you're trying to promote as like a sort of goal for people? Because obviously people are coming to you, aren't they? And they're like, they're wanting to choose certain types of foods, and they're not just going to a regular cafe, are they? They're going to you potentially to choose something for a result. So is there any specific types of clients that are coming to you for specific purposes, and are they asking you any questions at all, mate?
Yeah, so first and foremost, it's called the Be Balanced Company because I want to promote the balance within food. So there is no like good foods or bad foods. There's just kind of knowing what you're putting into your body, and as long as you know what you're eating and you have that balance, you'll kind of be all right. So that's kind of the premise about it. But yeah, so you have all sorts of different people coming into the gym with different goals. The most common ones that we see from the gym are like people that want to build muscle, so they're coming in for the high protein stuff and they're asking for extra scoops of protein and things like that. And then the other one is predominantly fat loss. People are just coming to train and to try to lose weight. So I do have people that come in and they don't really understand like that there isn't any good or bad foods, and in terms of fat loss, it's kind of educating them that as long as they know how to be in a calorie deficit and what foods can make up their calorie intake, they can lose weight without having this super restricted diet or eating particular types of foods. It's good to kind of educate people. I mean, I'm no dietitian or anything. I've done a couple of like health and diet nutrition courses and things like that. So I can help people out, but yeah, it's good to educate people as well, like especially people that just come in off the street and see the sign and they just don't really know what it kind of is that we do. So yeah, it's good to do that.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you've hit the ball on the head with regards to like people who are coming through, they're wanting to build muscle or general fat loss. It's like it's important to give these people some form of education as well, because they're going away feeling happy that they've, you know, gone for a certain type of product that they've chosen from yourself as well to help them with the results. So it sort of helps yourself out as well. You obviously you mentioned as well, didn't you, that all your foods are calorie controlled and macro controlled. Is that right? So you sort of have everything else that they consume, and it also tells you what they're able to eat.
Yeah, so we do hot breakfast in the mornings, and then aside from that, we also sell like pre-prep meals, so you can come and you can grab a few meals for the week and you can take it away to work or whatnot. And they do like overnight oat pots, which can be like a snack, or you can have them for your breakfast, obviously. But everything, as you say, is calorie counted and got all your macronutrients on. So your carbs, your fat, and your protein all broke down, so you can see it there. And you, like I keep saying, like, you know what you're putting into your body, like you exactly know what you're eating, because a lot of the times when you're going out to eat somewhere, you're getting, like, if you're going for a hot breakfast, say you're getting a bacon and egg sandwich, you don't know what oil that's cooked in, you don't know how much fat's in it, how many carbs, you've got no idea. So how are you meant to control your calorie intake if you don't know what you're eating? So yeah, that's just what I'm trying to do for people, really. Not that everyone wants that, but the people that do want that, they can get that.
Well, you're in the exact place, aren't you, where most people are going to probably want that anyway, which is amazing, isn't it? And I know from clients that I've picked up in the past and who are with me right now on my programs, is when they're focusing on eating out and you know consuming different types of foods, and we know that, like, if they have takeaways, anything like that at all, it requires a lot more effort of you understanding what is actually in that food. And we don't know what it's being cooked in, if it's being cooked in loads of oils. We know, obviously, with lots of oils cooked in certain types of foods, the calorific content is going to be going really high, and you're not aware of this as well. But they're doing that to obviously make the food taste, very highly palatable, and it's tasting better than what it would usually be. So you might go back again. But the fact that the matter is as well, it's that having that understanding of what it's being cooked in sometimes plays a big role, because we know, like, very high fat foods, which could potentially be quite healthy at the same time, could be like olive oil and everything else, which is healthy. But that way, with 9 calories per gram of fats, then calorific content is going to be going through the roof as well. And people are understanding, like, where am I going wrong with things, what's happening and stuff like that. I'm not too sure why, I'm eating this health food and I'm putting weight on at the same time. And I think that's another thing as well, that people don't think that way, is like, sometimes with healthy foods, we could be consuming them, they could be promoting, good immunity and everything else, but at the same time, it could be boosting a lot of calories in there at the same time, and you may not be able to lose the weight that you want to lose as well. But you're like, okay, well, where am I going wrong with things?
Yeah, exactly. Like, with the main goal of being obviously fat loss in this group, then I think a lot of health foods, as they get called, sometimes you can look at them and they're higher calorie than what, like, having a bowl of cereal or something might be. Do you know what I mean? So people will go to them because they think, oh yeah, well, this is that healthy food, and then it ends up ruining the fat loss goals. So yeah.
No, that's it. Totally right, mate. And you've got a great business where you're able to promote these things as well, and just tell people what's in them, and just give people a little bit more of an understanding. Because I know that you mentioned as well, you don't just promote the very highly sort of high in vitamins, minerals, anything like this at all, high in protein foods. You're also promoting other foods as well, like bacon butties and stuff like that as well, aren't you? Which is great.
So basically, like I say, I get it's on like a little bit of an industrial state. So I get like builders and stuff coming in, and I've got a lot of people around me, and it's like 50% kind of to not screw myself over and not do myself out of sales. But again, I want to offer everything to everybody, and then when they come in and they ask, I have different options. So let's just say someone comes in and they want bacon and fried egg on toast. I'll give them the option, like, listen, I've got turkey bacon, and how about a poached egg, and do it on a bagel thin, and that brings your calories right down, your protein right up, a lot leaner, and I can educate people that way. I mean, like, I don't think many of the people on this industrial estate who've even heard of macros. If you slap them in the face with it, so they're not really bothered to just give me a bacon butty, mate. But I've got that for those people, and then it's good to kind of be able to give people a different option. If you're going up to a butty wagon or something, you're not going to get offered a turkey sausage instead of a normal sausage, which is, like I say, a lot leaner, a lot less fat, a lot higher protein. It tastes just as good, if not better. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's good to have those options and be able to speak to people and stuff like that about it.
Yeah, and you know what, you're totally right with that. It's like sometimes them like turkey sausages or whatever, like the leaner sort of, because they, as I say, that when we bump the fat up quite high with saturated fat, it is going to increase that calorific intake. And sometimes by just reducing these things down, you're probably not even going to notice that much. You're still able to enjoy something which you like maybe having on a Saturday and Sunday, and you can have it through the week as well. And you're still able to get the fat loss goal that you want. And as we mentioned before, then it's like with health food, sometimes health foods are promoting highly calorific intake. The other way goes with foods. Maybe I wouldn't even necessarily say that they're unhealthy foods. Saturated fat isn't, but it's probably not got as many, vitamins and minerals and anything like that in than like your other types of foods which have. But they're slightly lower in calories, and you enjoy it a little bit more, and you're able to get your results. So, consuming some processed food once in a while isn't going to be harmful for you. It's the fact that when we consume too much of it. So, it's great that you're having that in, mate, and you can still have that balance, because people don't know that. And I think you mentioned that before when we spoke on the phone. Was you said a little bit about people are coming to you and like, oh, should I be eating like a bacon butty, or should I be doing that? And it's sort of like just educating them where you can do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people don't realize, like, think like, oh well, I'm trying to lose weight, so all these foods are out then for me. Like, they don't understand that if you're gonna be on a losing weight, and I think it's hard when you're kind of like making it hard for yourself and you're not eating foods that you like. Again, it's about that balance, isn't it? And making sure that you're having a little bit of what you like to keep you going, type thing. I think one of the main things is with fat loss and nutrition is it's about a bit of a lifestyle switch as well. Like, and the more you know, like what's going into your body, the better it is, and the more informed you are, the better it is. So like, I always go back to the I think it's like the 21-90 it's called, and it's like 21 days to start a habit, and then 90, if you do it for 90 days, it's a lifestyle change. Like, the more you do something, like, the easier it becomes, basically. But it's a long journey, and it takes quite a long time. So just about educating people and getting them to know how they can eat what they want, but how not to do it too much, and alternatives and things like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you enjoy what you do, and you're less likely to like fall off the wagon with things as well, which is great.
Like, you eat pizza on a Friday.
yeah. I have pizza on a Friday, and do you know what? Do you know what is really weird, right? My pizza on a Friday probably contains just as much calories as like something I'd have through the week if I had like chicken and rice, vegetables, and all of these other things that promote health foods. It's like there isn't much difference between that and that. But I know, obviously, if I was going to have a pizza every single day, I'd feel like shit. I'm not going to feel great. I'm going to have a boost in energy levels. But these soul foods, which we should be promoting on a regular basis, which make us feel great, are important to be implementing in every so often. And sometimes it might be sparing the moments. Like, you'll get someone into your cafe there, and you'll be like, okay, well, I usually go for like, I don't know, like porridge oats, protein oats, or whatever else, and they go for that, and then all of a sudden they'll just change their mind, spare the moment, and go, you know what, I'll have a bacon butty because the calories from it is like probably about 100, and you know what, I just fancy that now, so I'm just gonna have a little bit of a change.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's always quite helpful to do. So I think we've obviously ticked a lot of boxes with regards to what obviously you're trying to promote and how you help people. Is there sort of any questions you generally tend to is there any questions that people ask you at all when they're coming to see you and they're wanting to maybe get something after a workout or before a workout at all to maybe help with the goal?
So yeah, it tends to be like I kind of touched on before. It tends to be like the main two things I see are people that come in and go, "Oh, have you got any high protein meals there?" And I do some that have got some that are a strict protein. They're stuck to like 53 grams of protein, and others I just use different amounts of protein. So there's some that'll be higher, some will be lower for different people's goals. So yeah, I'll kind of go in and I'll fish them out a high protein meal, and then they'll have that. And then the other one is, yeah, people asking for kind of like, oh, low calorie stuff. Like we do protein shakes, and I've got like, you know, your skimmed milk to try and lower the protein a bit and things like that. So it's generally those two types of people. People want high protein because they just had a massive session.
Yeah.
Or people are coming and they want something low fat that's not going to ruin the day type of thing.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And you know, these simple things can definitely help people out as well. I know that obviously with the protein, people can have it straight away after a workout. It's a little bit more convenient. They can come to you and they can just get it, and then they're off with the day, aren't they? So, and I actually find as well with protein, like you probably get like 30-35 grams is like sufficient for most people anyway. And it's like you could probably have some like carbs in there as well or something like that, which is quite helpful. So I think you know, there was quite a lot of questions that have been asked actually in the Facebook group anyway that obviously I wanted to answer. I'm sure you can put some comments in on this as well, mate, on what people are asking. So I think there was one question from Kirsty. She mentioned the question on high fat and healthy fats for weight loss, and I think it was about avocados as well. Should we be taking these away or consuming these as well to help with our goal? Because obviously, you know, healthy fats are promoted quite a lot. There's something which is going to potentially help us out with our health and our immunity. And my question to Kirsty on this one is you know, with regards to the grams per like calories. So there's 9 calories per gram of fat. So your calories are going to go up. As simple as that. And we know that we need to make sure we're in a deficit. So if you're consuming these in a large amount, then it could affect your goal. As I said before, it's like consuming a large amount of anything is going to affect your goal, but by keeping them fats low can definitely be quite helpful. But as you find with healthy fats as well, they're going to definitely promote you know, feelings of well-being as well. They also promote a lot of hormones. They help with hormones on a regular basis. So they can be really, really helpful for that. So they regulate a lot of them. So I don't think we should be going crazy low on fats. And I think if we can get some things like avocados, fish, things like this on a regular basis can be really, really helpful for people's well-being of how they feel. And if your fats are quite low and you're not like consuming things like oily fish, you always recommend like things like omega-3 and 6 fish oils as well, which is quite healthy. So I don't know if you've got any other things that you'd probably pop onto that, mate, at all.
No, not really. Just to like kind of echo what you said. Like if you're going to be eating fats, then make sure it's healthy fats. I mean, avocados is a great shout. I put that on most of my breakfast bagels that I do. It's a really popular one. There's a bit of avocado on there. And yeah, like you can eat your fats, you know what I mean? As long as they're healthy and you're not going too crazy with it, it's important that you do that. Again, it's knowing how much you're having, isn't it, as well? As opposed to just shoveling in a load of fats and not really understanding. If you're counting your calories or your macros and you're aware of your fats, then that's always going to help.
That's the thing, and it depends on personal preference. Some people love a really high fat diet and it works well for them because they enjoy what they're doing. We're looking at adherence again. Adherence for each client that you get through the door is really helpful. So some people will be like, okay, yeah, I want to go high fat. Some people are like, oh, well, I go low fat. For me personally, I have to go low fat for one major reason is I like to consume a high volume of food. So if I was to consume a high volume of food, which is high in fat, I'm going to like push in a surplus and I'm going to be putting weight on. So I do need to be conscious of that sometimes. But as I say, some people just love to consume fats. You know, this is the thing. Some people like going low carb. It depends on personal preference. So I hope that answers Kirsty's question on that as well. And I'm actually going to bring up the sweeteners for weight loss. So I don't know about you with the questions for this. Is it really helpful that we should be consuming sweeteners on a regular basis? And I think sweeteners are quite helpful, because if you were to consume, let's say for instance, we're going to go normal full fat Coke to Diet Coke is a great example here. The fact of the matter is there's 0 calories in one and there's tons of calories in the other one. It's just going to make a huge amount of difference. And I know that there's a lot of people get scared of consuming sweeteners because there's like loads of like things going around, like with people saying that they're going to cause cancer, they're going to affect your health, and you shouldn't be consuming too many of these as well. And also as well, it's going to increase in insulin as well, and it will affect your goal. I actually find that the issue we find with this is you are going to be consuming a great deal of these in a large amount for it to affect your health. If you were to consume 1 or 2 cans a day, it's probably not going to have a great deal of an effect on your goal. The only thing I'd say it's going to have an effect on is things like your teeth. It's not really helpful for your teeth. And also as well, if you're drinking loads of Diet Coke throughout the day, it's probably increasing caffeine content as well. So it's not necessarily the sweetness, it's like the caffeine that's in it. And also what I was going to say now as well with that. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's probably not going to make a huge amount of difference to your goal. And there's a lot of myths out there. And just knowing exactly the amount of calories which is in your regular diet is the main thing that you need to be considering.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me, I love sweeteners. I'm all about them. Like, I would rather have a couple of sweeteners in my tea rather than waste the calories on a couple of teaspoons of sugar. You know what I mean? And like you're saying, it's not in a crazy high amount where you're gonna be affected that much by it. And I think if your goal ultimately is weight loss, then they're really, really helpful tool to bring your calorie, to help you stay in a calorie deficit. And got a good example actually. Is a woman came in, one of the people from the gym, and she had been put in a calorie deficit, and she was struggling to stay in a calorie deficit. She was really struggling, like to not go in a surplus all the time. And I said to her, get yourself some diet cans of Coke. Don't go crazy with it, but if you're feeling hungry and you need something that's going to take the edge off and you don't want to have the calories, kind of Diet Coke or something like that really helps. It takes that hunger away and helps. So they can be a really good tool to keep you in a surplus, in a deficit.
Yeah. It's going to be an appetite suppressant, so it's going to be really helpful for that. And I mean, as I mentioned before, if you're going crazy on them, but most people aren't. They'll have maybe 1 or 2, and as long as you're consuming plenty of water throughout the day, you're keeping yourself hydrated, and you're having other forms of liquids which are going to boost hydration, then I wouldn't have an issue with people having these within the diet as well. So it's definitely helpful. And I think there was another one from Kirsty, just posted loads of questions, which is really helpful. But there's I'll let you answer this one first, mate, as well. I'll let you get shot on this. So foods which boost energy levels. You'll probably have quite a lot of these foods in your cafe. So is there anything that you would maybe say, if someone said to you, okay, well, what foods that could really help me boost my energy levels before a workout, maybe, or something along the lines of that? Is there anything that you'd maybe advise, mate, on that?
So it's all about your carbs as your energy, isn't it? So you've got your GI, high GI carbs and low GI carbs. So the quick release ones, you're going to look at your high GI carbs, and then slow release ones as well. I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's just things like that. I mean, I mean, it depends what you want the energy for, really. Like, I've seen people come in here and ask me for things like pieces of white bread and stuff before they go in and do a massive weight session, but no one's going to be shoveling down a loaf of bread and then going to do it a marathon or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it depends how you're going to be using that energy. But yeah, there's all sorts of different ways just using your carbs.
Yeah. No, and I think you're right with the low and high GI carbohydrates. So, you know, we don't want to be consuming some carbohydrate foods just before a session which contains a lot of fiber, because fiber takes a lot longer to break down within your system. So it's also like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to feel really bloated when I'm going to my session. I'm going to feel like probably a drop in energy levels as well, like sometimes when you've had something like that. So, and I mean, I've done it with clients before when they're prepping for a race. They'll have like low GI the day before a race, and then like more like high GI foods like leading up to a race, which are easier to break down and digest quite quickly as well, which is really helpful. So no, I get that, mate. That's really helpful to know. And I think as well, just coming away from foods, I think just hydration and sleep pattern and just the simple things as well, which can boost energy levels, not just in a workout, on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes we overlook and we just focus on the nutrition side of things when it could be other things as well. It could be that, it could be also as well, it could be protein. That's another thing as well, is sometimes protein can boost immunity levels. If you're able to consume plenty of vegetables within your diet, they're going to promote energy as well, because you're getting plenty of vitamins and minerals in there to boost your immunity. So, you know, have a look at that. Are you getting, you know, enough protein within your diet? Are you consuming plenty of fruits and vegetables? And are you consuming the high and low GI foods as well at the correct time? You know, if you go high GI before a workout, can be really helpful, and you keep yourself hydrated. So there's a few points there, Kirsty, that you could bring up. So I hope that's quite helpful. Yeah. So right, that's really helpful to know. So is there anything else that you want to bring up at all with regards to your shot, mate?
No, not really. Just obviously everything that we offer kind of has been put out there, hasn't it? Really. So yeah, if you think that you need something along the lines of this and it sounds helpful to you, then pop on down. We're situated in Ascendancy Fitness in Warrington. Come and have a chat, come and grab something and see what you think. We're going to be going on Deliveroo soon, so you can go and check Deliveroo and you'll be able to get breakfasts and choose all your different options. So if you want a turkey sausage or a poached egg, you can go on and do that, and you can get yourself breakfast through the week or the weekend. That'll be good. I think that's going to be in about a week's time. So yeah, it's all good so far.
Spot on, mate. Yeah, I didn't know that anyway. That's great. I'll definitely be ordering, mate. Anyway, that breakfast in the morning sounds amazing when it's slightly lower in calories. So no, that's great, mate. So yeah, if you want to pop down and have a chat with Brad, have a little chat with regards to what foods he's got available, maybe order from Deliveroo as well. If you're in around the Warrington area, you can do. But guys, if you've got any other questions at all with regards to this information that's been brought up, please let me know. Feel free to share this as well at any point. That is always helpful from anyone who finds any of the podcasts, the YouTube channel, the live videos on my free fat loss support group. If you share these, this is always quite helpful, because the more people we can help with regards to nutrition, the better. I will leave it there for today, guys. Any other questions at all, feel free to let me know, and I will speak to you all soon.